Good morning, everybody. It's Jeff again. Thanks for joining us for this week's Breakfast with Basta. This is the longer video that we're posting this week. Remember that you can submit your questions to us via email at questions@bastabags.com or go to our blog, and you can do that by going to www.bastabags.com, clicking on blog, and submitting a question to any of the posts that you see there. So it's a great morning in New York. It's getting busy and there are some helicopters flying around, so we'll have to deal with that as well. But we did want to expand a little bit on your questions about handbag pricing and specifically what makes handbags so expensive. We talked about in the short video the cost of inputs, and in a handbag you have the obvious inputs. You have the cost of the leather from the tannery. You have the cost of the hardware, which is a separate vendor. You have the cost of the labor to manufacture it. You also have the cost of shipping, and all of this gets baked into the price of the bag before it gets to you. In some instances where a store is located on Fifth Avenue or Park Avenue in Manhattan or on Worth Avenue in Palm Beach or Rodeo Drive, you have to factor in the price of the rent of the store. And some of these rents are $100,000, $200,000 a month. They may have spent several $1 million building out the store. And again, all of that is incorporated into the price of the bag. You have to sell some pretty expensive bags to cover that kind of cost. One of the things that you may not consider when you are buying a bag, especially when you start getting into products that are $2,000, $3,000, is that these are products that you don't necessarily need, but they are products that you want. And what stores know and what manufacturers know is that these are something called a Veblen good, V-E-B-L-E-N. And a Veblen good is a type of product where you feel that it's more valuable because it's more expensive. And so at some point, when you talk about price, you've pretty much priced in all the costs of the leather, you've priced in all the costs of the hardware, the shipping, the store, all of that. And when they become even more expensive, a lot of that is playing on your desire to own that product and to own that product because it's so expensive. And there's not anything necessarily wrong with that, but it's important to understand that when somebody's buying something that costs thousands of dollars, so much more than the cost of the goods or even the cost of the store, some of that money is being spent because it makes them feel better to spend that money. Now, there's nothing wrong with that again, but at the same time, you have to know how much of the price that you're paying is in the actual product. If you have questions about the cost of tanneries or the questions about cost of hardware or shipping, we'd be glad to answer that. You can send your questions to us at questions@bastabags.com, or you can go to our blog, www.bastabags.com, click on blog, and submit a question to any of the posts that you see there. Again, this is Breakfast with Basta. My name is Jeff. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.